Here is an explanation for the answer to final exam question number 65 in Alternative Energy, Demystified, 2nd edition. If you have the printed book, please see page 324 for the question and for the relevant illustration, figure exam-5. The diagram, figure exam-5, is a schematic or block diagram of a nuclear reactor suitable for providing power to the propellers that drive a submarine. It is the reactor that you might find in a nuclear sub. In the last question you learned that. If you watched the last video, I went through a little bit of how that particular system actually works and why it's suitable for use in a submarine but not in other propeller-driven devices with less mass. In this particular example, figure exam-5, we have a fission reactor that has a boiler in it, and the boiler drives a steam turbine, which drives an electric motor, which drives the propeller. That is how the submarine moves forward underneath the surface of the sea. So the question is, what is that thing marked X? And the answer is choice B. It is a boiler. It is a boiler. So let's go ahead and look at that diagram, figure exam-5. I've rearranged the geometry of the diagram, but all of the interconnections are the same as they appear in the printed book on page 324. The nuclear reactor right here, radiation shield, which is the thing that has all the mass and makes that system impractical for use in, say, a Predator drone or an overland high-speed vehicle. This reactor provides heat, and it drives something in this little ellipse here. What comes out of that ellipse drives a steam turbine. Well, obviously, what comes out of this ellipse is steam. This condenser, well, that presumably would condense steam into liquid water, and the feed pump would feed that liquid water back into this thing marked X. Well, it can't be anything other than a boiler, or it certainly can't be any of the other things in any other choices in the question. It isn't a heat pump. It isn't a condenser. That's right here. It isn't a combustion chamber. We're not burning the water. We're boiling the water. And a tokamak, that is a device for nuclear fusion, a proposed or experimental device for nuclear fusion, and completely irrelevant to this situation. So once again, the answer is B. That thing marked X, and I made that X green so it's easy to see here. It is a boiler. B as in boiler.